And now to some breaking news on the future of TikTok in the U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent just announcing the administration has reached a framework of a deal with China. Let's go to NBC News White House correspondent Vaughn Hilliard with more on this. Vaughn, what are we learning?
Hey, good morning, Anna. Scott Bessent, along with U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer, in Madrid meeting with a Chinese delegation just a few moments ago, left a meeting, said that they have a framework of a deal to sell TikTok to an American buyer. Of course, if you go back to just days before the inauguration here earlier this year, TikTok went dark briefly before incoming President Trump announced that there would be no penalties against TikTok as they sought an American buyer. Of course, it was in April of 2024 that bipartisan Congress, with the signature of President Biden, banned TikTok in the scenario that ByteDance, the Beijing-based company, did not sell to an American buyer. But upon taking office, President Trump extended the deadline for ByteDance to find a buyer 3 different times now. The latest deadline is set to come up this Wednesday, and that is where this announcement suggests that they have found, between 2 private parties, the potential transfer of TikTok. Of course, there are a lot of questions, and the Treasury Secretary suggested that President Trump will talk this Friday with President Xi to finalize this deal. There is a lot of talk about what that deal would look like, whether it would be a majority owned by an American company or whether this would be a complete transfer. This has been a very clouded secret process here. There have been several American investors that have stepped up and suggested interest, but we should expect here potentially in the days ahead to get more details ahead of this Wednesday deadline that TikTok had yet again. You'll recall the Supreme Court also upheld that ban. So at some point, the expectation was that ultimately an American buyer would have to go forward with a deal agreed to through this administration. Anna?